Hi friends, good afternoon. I plan to take a live session due to some technical reason. We could not take that up, but any which way, we have brought an interesting topic, which is profit, loss, and discount. Now, a couple of things which I would like to mention before I start this. One is when you look at profit, loss, or discount, always think from the perspective of the shop owner, the person who is buying it from the wholesaler or distributor and selling it to consumers like you and me. There is one thing that you should understand. And also, when you look at profit or profitability, you should look at cost as the base price. So always remember, for any percentage profit, cost is put in the denominator, while the numerator will be absolute amount of profit. The denominator will represent the cost price. In the same way, when you look at percentage discount, then the mark price is put in the denominator. Now, what is mark price? That is the sticker price. So when you go and buy a product from the market, you would have seen that they put a sticker on the product, which is called MRP. That is called mark price, or often it is called list price. All right. So without wasting time, let me take you through some very interesting questions today. So let's start with this one. So it says that an item P is sold at 10% profit for rupees 550. If it were sold at a 20% profit, it would have got a profit which would be equal to cost price of item Q. Now the language could be little confusing. What I believe is, if you kind of draw a diagram, it might look little easy. So for example, I look at the situation like this. On one side, they have said, while the item is being sold at 10% profit, the selling price is 550. When it is sold at 20% profit, then the amount of profit, so then the sales price would have been S dashed, let's say. Then in the beginning, the profit is P. In the second case, the profit is P dashed. So this profit becomes equal to cost of the item Q. So this part needs to be understood well. Once you understand this, rest of the problem will look easy. For example, if I start by assuming the cost of the product as 100, so I'm taking this as the cost of the product. Now you see, when it is sold at 10% profit, then the sales price will be 110, right? Now that 110 they have said is equivalent to rupees 550, correct? That is what they have said. Now, in the second case, if the percentage profit is 20 on a cost of 100, then the amount of profit will be 20 rupees, right? So the question is, if 110 corresponds to 550, then 20 correspond to how much? Of course, that will be rupees 100. The fun of unitary method is you can apply the same multiplying factor on both sides, right? Any which way. So the profit in the second case is equal to rupees 100, which is equal to the cost of product Q. Now they have said product Q is being sold at 10% loss. So on rupees 100, if you apply 10%, then the sales price of Q will become 90 rupees. All right, 10% of 100 is 10 rupees. So that is the loss. Then the sales price will be 100 minus 10. Yes, that is 90. And hence your answer to this question would be none of this. That is option number 4. All right. I hope that was clear to all of you. Okay. So we'll proceed to the next one. Cool. So let's take up the second one. All right. So over here they have said there are two products. One is, on one side they have talked about books. On one side they have talked about pen. While they have said on books there is a loss of 10%. On pen there is a profit of 10%. And on overall basis there is a profit of 5%. Now always remember, these are percentages of what? These are percentages of cost. Remember, I told you in the beginning, all percentage profit or percentage loss is always with respect to the cost price of the product. Now you see, the interesting thing about the question is, they have said the price, the selling price of the book is 18 rupees. So I can say 90% of cost price of the book is equal to 18, right? Why did I say that? Because there is a 10% loss on books, right? So there is a the selling price will be 100 minus 10, that is 90% of the cost of the book, right? Which means I can say the cost of book is 20 rupees definitely. Now you can apply, interestingly, you can apply allegation over here, and which is a method of any kind of mixture, while this overall profit is the mixed profit from book and pen. So the ratio that you get by finding the differences will give you, the idea about, the respective cost prices, or rather the comparison of the cost prices. So you look at the differences which are in the ratio 1 is to 3, and hence you can say that the cost of book and cost of pen are in the ratio 1 is to 3. You know the cost of book is 20 rupees, so definitely you can say cost of pen will be 60 rupees, all right? Now you see on pen there is a 10% profit, right? Now what is 10% of 60? That is 6 rupees. Yeah. So the selling price of a pen will be 60 plus 6, that is 66 rupees. Wasn't it little tricky and really fast? An interesting question, right? Okay, I hope it is coming clear to you guys. All right, so these are typical questions which they ask in aptitude exams, whether it is about exams like CAT, IFT, SNAP, NMAT, TEAS, etc., or it could be exams like IBPS, SBI. Even in the campusing for BTech students, these kind of questions are being asked very, very frequently. Now let us have a look at this question. Over here they have talked about 3 years starting with 2011, then 2012, then 2013. So they have said every year it is jumping by 10%. The cost is jumping by 10%. And of course, it started with 10,000 in the beginning. Sorry, started with 10,000 in the beginning, right? So next year it will be 10,000 into 11 by 10, because it is jumping up by 10%, which is 1 by 10. So it will become 11 by 10 times of what it was. Next year, again, there will be a multiplying factor of another 11 by 10, right? Now you see they have said uh, the if they purchase it or they outsource it from Q, then it would have been outsourced at a price, at a cost which will be 10% lower than this, which means it would be 90% of it what it would have become, which means the outsourcing price would have been 9/10 of this, right? So just would like to erase this part. So that will be 11 by 10 into 9 by 10. All right. So that means this is the selling price of Q, right? This is the price at which Q sells the service. So, and they have said the cost of Q is 9,000. So they have asked about the absolute profit, which will be selling price minus cost price, as you know. Now we can calculate this in a simple way. We can cut these three zeros, right? Now you can take this 90 common. So you see, you get 121, that is 11 into 11. And if I take 90 common, we get 100, right? So what we get is 90 times 21. All right. So yes, your answer will be option number 3, that is 1890, right? Very straightforward question with simple calculations and a quick answer in front of you, that is 1890. All right. I hope that was clear, guys. Okay. So I'll move to the next one. Okay. Now, sometime back, I was referring to mark price. Remember, I was talking about discounts. This is one such situation where, so let me first draw as I told you, if you draw it in the form of a diagram, it will look much, much easier for you to handle, right? So on one side, if you notice, they have said that it is being sold at 90% of the mark price. So I can definitely say that if the mark price is 10, then the sales price will be 9, right? That is the ratio of mark price and sales price, because it is 10% less, the sales price is 10% less or 90% of mark price. On the other side, they have said this guy is earning a profit of 50%. Now, how do you represent that? 50% profit, please understand, 50% is half of what? It is half of cost price, that is the profit, which means if the cost price is 2 rupees, then the profit will be 1 rupee, and then the sales price will be 3 rupees. Or in other terms, just to equate these two numbers, you can multiply both the numbers by 3. Oops, I'm so sorry. That will be, I had 6 in my mind, so I just wrote it by mistake. So this will be 6, right? So the cost price is 6 and the mark price is 10. So the question is, if I sell it at mark price without offering any discount, then what will be my percentage profit? Remember, if I sell it at mark price, that means there is no difference between the mark price and the sales price, right? So this fraction will represent the profitability, which is, of course, you can see 10 minus 6 by 6, all right, which is, of course, 2/3, and that is 66.67%, all right. So that is your answer. Option number 2, that is 66.66%. Wasn't it pretty fast? And typical ones that you get in your exams. Remember, these are the kind of questions they're asking in all competitive exams, guys. Okay, so I'll move ahead with the next one. Oh yeah, this is one question where they try to confuse you with the language, and I always suggest that whenever you get confused with language, please do draw a table to make the situation look simpler, and you will find a very easy solution after that. Trust me, that is what I have seen in most of the cases. You see, they have talked about cost price on one side, sales price on the other side, and they have talked about a initial situation and a final situation, right? So if I start by taking the initial cost price as 100, they have said in the beginning the cost is being decreased by 10%, which means the cost will become 90. And then they have said there is a profit of 10%, which means the sales price will become 90 plus 9 rupees, that is 99 rupees. They have also said this new sales price is obtained by increasing the earlier sales price by 10%. Now this is tricky, please understand. A profit of 10% is equivalent to 10% increase. So if I get the same number at the end of the day, then don't you think I should simply duplicate this number over here, because both the numbers are increased by 10% to give me 99, which means no doubt I will have a 90 out here. And I know that initial cost price was 100 and the sales price was 90, which means, as you can see, there was a loss of 10 rupee on 100 rupee, which is 10% loss. All right. So here is your answer. That is option number 4. While the language was looking little confusing, but as I told you, you can see that in front of you, that if you draw a table, a difficult looking question or a complicated looking question can also seem to become very, very easy. Yeah. So great. So we'll proceed with the next one. Okay. So all right. So here is another one. Definitely, as you can read the question, they have said that there are three products, X, Y, and Z. And as you can see, they have said on the products, you have 10% profit, 10% loss, and 10% profit respectively. Okay. So you see, they have said that, the most important information probably is there is no profit or no loss on a net basis, which means they have said the cost of X as 100, which means on a base of 100, if I apply 10%, that means the profit from X was rupees 10 in absolute terms, which means the loss by selling Y and Z should be equal to rupees 10. Now, when I say loss by selling Y and Z, I know the loss from Y is 10% of the cost of Y. I must subtract the profit from Z in terms of, if I want to calculate the profit from Z. So I found out the loss from Y, I subtracted the profit from Z. That gives me the overall loss by selling Y and Z. I should have this equal to 10, isn't it? So it means 10% of cost of Y minus cost of Z is rupees 10, or I can say Y minus Z will be rupees 100. All right, guys. So then your answer to this question will be rupees 100. Okay. I hope that was clear to all of you. Cool. So we'll move ahead with the next one. Yes, that is one of the most interesting questions I have found, which kinds of gives you a bouncer in terms of the language. It's a two-liner question, but or two and a half line, not even two and a half, you can see. So, but the way it is given, uh, it could confuse you in terms of the language. So let me have a look at the question first. In the beginning, as you can see, they have said very interesting. They have said by selling X number of items, you gain a profit of X%. Now, what does it mean? Please understand this is basically cumulative profit up to that number of items. So, imagine that each item costs you 100 rupees. So, I'm trying to make a table of cost and profit and the selling price. And when I say cost, it will mean overall cost. So when I say I sell item 1, the cost is 100 and I expect a profit of 1 rupee, and hence I sell it at 101 rupee. When I look at the second item, please understand the overall cost is 200, which means I expect a profit of 2% on 200, because they have said I expect X% on selling X items, right? Now, what is 2% of 200? That is 4 rupees. But remember, by selling the first item, I already earned a profit of 1 rupee, which means I need 3 more rupees of profit only from the second product, whose cost is also 100, isn't it? So that product will be sold at 103. The second item will be sold at 103. Please understand. Now you can cross check. 103 plus 101 is 204, and the total cost is 200. So 204 minus 200 is 4 rupees. That is 2% on 200. Doesn't it satisfy? Yes, it does. Now look at the third item. Overall cost will be 300, and now you expect a profit of 3% on 300, which is 9 rupees of profit. But by selling the first two items, you already got 4 rupees of profit, and hence you want 105, because you want 5 rupees of profit by selling only the third item. Now you look at the numbers, you see increasing odd numbers starting from 101, consecutive odd numbers, right? Which means, of course, the fifth item will be 109. So that way, if you go ahead, the fifth item will be sold at 109, which they have said is equal to rupees 218. So what we got as 109 is given as rupees 218 in actual terms. Hence, of course, if that is the case, you can definitely say that if fifth item is 109, then they have talked about the ninth item, right? So the ninth item uh, value will be 117 as per our calculation. So in unitary method, we can say that if 109 correspond to 218, then 117 will correspond to what? Yes, that is 234, right? Guys, so your answer to this question will be rupees 234. Very, very tricky and very interesting question I have found. So a very conceptual question, a fantastic question. All right, coming up with the next one. Now here, so this is so they give a lot of questions from mixtures also, while it involves underweighing or overweighing or diluting solutions, etc. This is one such typical example. So as you can see, they have said that this guy is mixing water, and hence I'm calling this diluted milk, right? So they have said they have mixed 1/4 liter of water with every liter of pure milk. As a result, the diluted milk's quantity will be 5 by 4. Now, in order to, we are not very comfortable with fractions. So in order to convert all the numbers into integers, can we not multiply all the numbers by 4? Because that appears in the denominator. So we can definitely say that with every 4 liters of milk, if you add 1 liter of water, then you get 5 liters of diluted milk, right? So then now you see milk is bought at rupees 8 per liter. Hence the total cost will be rupees 32. 8 fours are 32. Water is free, you get it free from the corporation, right? And now you see diluted milk, as they have said, is sold at rupees 10, and hence the selling price will be 5 into 10, that is 50. So the profit has to be 50 minus 32, that is uh, you know selling price minus cost price divided by cost price. Yeah, so that will be 18 by 32. So simplify, you get 9 by 16. Express 9 as 8 plus 1 by 16. You see 8 by 16 is half, that is 50%. And 1 by 16, if you do 1 by 16 is 6.25%, right? So your answer to this question will be 56.25%. That is the percentage profit that this guy will earn. Wasn't it a very decent profit? Yeah. Okay. So anyways, I think that was quite a good brainstorming on topical questions on profit and loss and discounts. I would expect that you will practice this kind of questions a lot, and definitely be in touch with us any moment. We will be very very glad to help you uh, any which way we can. Our coordinates are given in front of you on your screen. All right. So guys, uh, till the time we meet next time, take very very good care of yourself, and do practice a lot and apply uh, core concept, fundamental concept. Do not become dependent on formula. I'm sure you will do fantastic. Right. So take